This set of recordings is going to be under a title, and the title of this set of recordings is The Mind-Blowing Truth of Planetary System Reality. The Mind-Blowing Truth of Planetary System Reality. There is a lot to see here, so there is going to be a few of these. When I say a few, I mean literally several of these. Do yourself a favor, and when you listen to these, and after you have read, please do read those paragraphs. This is for you. This is being made for you. You're part of we the people. And we the people have all kinds of ideologies bouncing around in our heads. And we just need some raw truth. That's all we need. So this is being supplied here. So please do read those several paragraphs. It's just a few paragraphs on this page, Planetary System Reality page. Also, another thing is when you're listening to these recordings, please also do yourself a favor and gain access to the picture. The picture is designed to tell you a story. You're going to notice there's lenses in the picture. You're also going to notice that there are words in the picture. It's all part of the story. And the story goes back a long time. And the story also goes into the future. And in the here and now is where we happen to be. So this is all geared for the here and now, but it lets you see something differently than your ideologies or our ideologies, because I'm part of we the people, you see. Allow us to see. It lets us look at things a little differently. So please do keep those things in mind. And now I'm going to begin these set of recordings by telling you a story. And this story is true. It's a very true story. And it reaches back into antiquity. Actually, it reaches further beyond antiquity. So let's just begin our story right now, shall we? A long time ago. Nobody knows how long, but it was a very long time ago. In one of the 100 billion galaxies that we know about, there was one galaxy. We know of this galaxy as the Milky Way. And within one little quadrant, side quadrant of this Milky Way galaxy, there was parked this solar system. And in this solar system, there was one planet. And this planet we call Earth. And Earth, a long time ago, began to be populated. Now, way back then, the populations were little small populations. They were here, they were there, they were everywhere. They were just little populations here and there. But in time, they grew, and they grew into bigger populations. And these bigger populations eventually grew into populations that started to enjoy particular resources that they had. Now, these populations that began to enjoy the resources they had began to get powerful. And as their populations grew, their power also grew. These populations understood, like all the other populations understood back in this time, so very long ago, that the Earth is our home. That we exist because the Earth helps us. exist. Without the earth, we would no longer exist. But the earth is filled to overflowing with resources. Now, we have our own resources because we've learned things. Certain things came and taught us things. We'll leave that one for another recording. And we know things, and because of that, we get to harness the resources of the earth that is our home. But they also knew something very interesting about Earth that we just don't know today. And that is that this whole place worked a certain way. And we're going to get back to this as our story unfolds, but this is a very important piece to understand for this story. So I want to drop that right now so that when we come back to it, you will have a reference. So please tuck that away as a reference. But as these people became more and more populated, they fell into groups of populations. Now, as humans are and as humans will be, some of these groups who had big populations now, bigger than some of the other groups around that didn't have big populations, and some of these bigger populated, more powerful groups decided, we want more resources. We want to control more stuff. And I think what we're going to do is, we'll just take it from the other people and we'll take their stuff and we'll use them as a resource. Because we have lots of stuff to do, you see. So why not just take their stuff and then enslave them? Ho, 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 ho. What a great idea. Rah, 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 rah. And this began the time of empires. Now, the time of empires stretches thousands of years. The time of empires is pretty easy to see today because of the maniacal things going on this planet in 2016, and within the next couple of years we're really going to see this clearly. That's my prediction anyway. However, in our story, these people began to say, okay, we're going to conquer. We are going to take. We are going to kill, steal, and destroy other groups. We are going to take their stuff. We are going to take their people and enslave them, and we are going to take whatever technology they have for our group. Because our group is the biggest group and the most powerful group, and therefore we need to control, because we're control freaks, you see. So these more powerful groups began their debauchery. And it's been going on ever since, with the exception of little pockets here and little pockets there of paradigm, setting up of paradigms where the population of this one paradigm enjoy liberties that you wouldn't enjoy under these groups. But these liberties were a hard fight to get. And since we're talking about times very long ago, and we're looking at this from a time very long ago, we won't pay too much attention to that. But as the story unfolds, we're going to pay more attention to that. Now, this is a very interesting thing here. The populations in those days understood quite well that planet Earth was indeed their home. Everything they were and everything they had, and I'm talking about all the populations of Earth, Everything they were and everything they had came from the planet. They understood this because they had to extract what they had from what was in the planet around them. And they understood, we are sort of unique, and I'm talking about the humans being. We are sort of unique compared to the rest of the beings on this planet, the animal life and the plant life and whatever. And we see things a little differently than they do, actually quite differently than they do. And we know things, and we have these special bodies that can design things, and we can think things up, and we can learn things. And then there's also these other resources guiding us, which we won't get into in this set of recordings, but we will get into eventually. And these things are guiding us to learn these different technologies, these different techniques, these different ways of doing things. And so that's how it was. That is how it was. Now let's turn back to the dominant debauchery forces, the control freaks, if you will, that wanted to control everything, that wanted all the resources, that decided, we're going to enslave people. Not only that, but we're going to take all their stuff, and they're going to come under our rule. This is where we need to switch our view a little bit. As more conquering went on the surface of this planet, the conquerors began to realize, perhaps this is not as easy as it was cracked up to be. There seems to be a problem here with what's going on with all of our plans. We must sort this out.